Hiya. Welcome to this week's episode of Word Up. I am here with my beautiful friend, Briege Lynch. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
Keeping well? I'm good. Briege is actually going to be starting her own podcast soon.
Yay, exciting.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a wee bit about it?
Yes.
Plug yourself, girl.
Thanks. It's about loving yourself and the journey of loving yourself and how that you have to proactively be doing it all the time. I think surrounded by lots of amazing women who don't know that they're amazing.
Yeah.
And
or at least crazy women who know that they're crazy. Because they're also useful. Do you know what I mean? The dangerous ones are the ones who don't know they're crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And they're out there doing that behaviour unaware, yeah.
It's like really interesting concept because we as Irish people are forever, like I was actually laughing at something the other day. It was like, translate this for say an American person, and it said, oh no, I'd be cut to death if somebody thought I was having notions, right? And I was like, it basically means I'd be really embarrassed if somebody thought that I thought highly of myself, you know? Yeah. And we're constantly conditioned to be like, stop it, you know, that's ego. Or whenever you were a kid, the worst thing somebody could say is, you love yourself.
It was the biggest insult. And I've been talking about this recently with, you know, just going about if you were to love yourself, it was like such a thing that you weren't allowed to do. And now, as a 35-year-old woman, we're like, yes, you absolutely
You're sitting there and your therapist is going, why don't you love yourself?
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Told me my whole life I shouldn't.
Because I was told I was useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need more of that.
So it's about doing it on purpose and how a lot of people, especially women, I'm a woman, so I'm only going to talk about what I know. Men are involved in this until you jump on. But we're kind of just in the patriarchal society that we are living in. From a young age, we're told to care for other people, and that's our role for caring. Even if we don't have our own kids, it's younger sisters, it's mummies, it's daddies, it's aunties. Oh, why are you not caring? Why are you not putting yourself last? And so now as women, or as when you do become a mummy, and that is, you have to do that then, whether you want to or not, is look after someone else first, and that's what you should be doing, everybody.
There's nowhere else to go, and children we can never leave.
Yeah.
I just quoted something that my dad put in a song before, but it is true. The women tend to be the ones that it falls to. Now, I don't want to sound like a misandrist here, which is someone, it's the basically a female version of a misogynist.
Well, I think being a feminist, you want equal rights,
yes, exactly.
And misogynists take it as misandry when you want equal.
We want equal. We're not asking for more.
But there is statistically, I don't know the actual statistics, but when it's like when men view a room of 50% women and 50% men, they view it as more women in the room.
Yes.
Like and they see, when they see equal, they actually think women have more.
I saw the stat on that too, and it was also if there is a room with 5 people in it, 3 of them are men and 2 are women, the men will feel outnumbered.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, just to think, and if a woman speaks, they're seen to have taken it up. Even if there was 1 woman in that group and 4 men, the woman speaking would still seem to them to take up 40% of the time.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Just to take it that step further, when men are going on first dates, they fear, like I think when they fear women, they fear us laughing at them or rejecting them. But when we fear men, it's death.
Yeah. Who was it wrote The Handmaid's Tale? Just literally went out of my head. Margaret Atwood. Right. Men are afraid of women because they will laugh at them. Women are afraid of men because they will kill them. Yeah. And it's very, very topical, you know, right now, because a lot of people, if anybody isn't familiar, there's a debate going on social media, because women have said that they would choose to walk through a woods with a bear in it than walk through the woods knowing that there was an unknown man in the woods. Yeah. And it was, we choose the bear. And lots of men took offence at that.
Until you ask them if they put your daughter in that situation. And very quickly, a lot of them went bear.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting as well, because I laughed at this video of, there was some guy in Russia that happened to be in the woods with a bear, and it was like, what the fuck is going on here? and he ended up, the bear was just curious and sort of, sniffed around. And
Yeah.
I went to ride it, but somebody had got there first that said, see, this is why we choose the bear.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thinking activity. Do you know what I mean? Like about, like whenever you look at what is going on in the world, especially with women, I mean, this month alone on the news, there have been 4 women murdered at the hands of men in the past 6 weeks that we know of.
There was another one recently as well.
Right.
I think it was yesterday, day before. That was announced. There was another woman and a man. 23 out of 24 women since 2020, I think it is.
Wow.
Have been killed by men. 23 out of 24.
That is insane. It is an insane statistic. And at the same time, if you look into the reasons that someone ends up in an abusive or a narcissistic relationship, it's usually, not always, but usually, speaking from experience here, when you have a lack of self-esteem or a lack of self-love.
Yeah.
And therefore, promoting that among people.
Yeah.
Particularly women.
Yeah.
And
it's not easy to love yourself when you've been told all your life to forget about that, put that completely as your last priority. So what I've found the last couple of years is I started this thing with myself. It all started with me, and that I struggled to love myself. Well, not that I struggled to love myself. I wanted to love myself more. I knew that it was accepting really shitty behavior in my life, and I didn't know why. Do your counseling. But it started with, obviously, your thoughts. I don't want to say things that people know are obvious, but whenever I have so many beautiful friends, and I mean beautiful all over the place. It's mostly when I say beautiful, it's not really superficially. But when you have that, and then they're saying, "Oh, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm ugly," or whatever negative thing it is to say, we're so used to that. Like, we're so used to, as a joke coming in, I don't know if it's a Belfast thing or an Irish thing, coming in and just running yourself down.
Yeah.
I look like shit today, or I look like this. But I think it was about 2 years ago, I stopped doing that about myself. I'm trying my best. And I've stopped all my friends doing it. So if anybody's in contact with me, say, for example, me and you, we go to a bar or out drinking or whatever. If someone was to come over and go, "Oh, Bronagh, you look really shit today," we would be raging at them. Yeah. We would be like, "Excuse me, where do you get the audacity to come over here and say something so negative? It's not productive, da 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 da. She's not beautiful, da da da." You, even yourself, would be like, "I am not what you're saying." Yeah. So why are we saying it inside? So what I started saying to my friends was, right, okay, if you're not loving yourself today, fine. But you still have a friend right here that loves you. And just like I'm not going to let a stranger come over here and say anything bad about my friend, I'm not letting you say that about that as well. And
that's a lovely way of looking at it.
Now my close inner circle, they just don't say bad things, because I kept saying, "You're not allowed to say that. Don't you say that about my friend. Don't say that about my friend. You're not allowed to say that about my friend. I love my friend," and reinforcing it with something positive. And now they check me. Yeah. Whenever I'm having that, and it's self-doubt, it's self-confidence, it's all of that. But it is an ongoing journey, which is why I wanted to do the podcast, because I want to create like a bigger community than what I have. I've watched women love themselves over the last while, and it's beautiful to say. It's really great, and I want to get that more out there, and let us all share our tips. What's going to work for me wouldn't work for you, won't work for you, vice versa. But each week, hopefully, someone will bring something new to the table, and we'll all help each other. And I think, like, whenever we're 50, I'm gonna today I'm loving the body that I have and trying to make sure that I love that and be positive about the body that I have. But whenever I'm 50, I won't have this body. Yeah. Whether I have an illness or one arm or whatever, you'll still have to continue your journey. When you're 50, you're going to have to put just as much effort now today. It needs to be a continuous thing. It needs to be your mind frame where you just don't talk badly about yourself.
That's true, because I do think that your brain listens to you as well. I mean, you take The Body Keeps the Score is a book that my sister is reading at the minute, and she is absolutely on me to read it, and I will once I finish this dirty book.
Audibles?
I love an audiobook. I absolutely love an audiobook, because I can get my shit done and do
in the car.
Audiobooks are my favourite thing.
Yeah.
In fact, I've written an article. It's in the bank. I say that as in, like, it's one of my wee spur articles in the off chance that I haven't got something done for the Irish News a particular week. And it's about reading audiobooks listening to audiobooks versus reading actual books. And there's a snobbery around people now where they're like, but you didn't read it, you listened to it. To which I would say, either way, you've consumed a book. Doesn't matter whether or not you have read the words
I'd say
or
my
you've
dad
heard
be
them.
like that in that way.
Do you think so?
He was always like, read books and all. And I used to before I had a child.
Yeah, I think it's because reading becomes a luxury that you just don't have time to do.
Yeah.
So I love it because I literally will be doing my dishes, but I'm not even here. I am in like some other world solving a fucking murder. Or, you know, I love a wee bit of like I love like fairies and fae and other universes and things that complete and utter unadulterated escapism.
I'm on the 4th book.
Now, have you ever?
Oh, why as a child? No, I queued up for the books and all as a kid. Like, Waterstones and all
so
that.
So you're listening to Stephen.
Yeah.
At the minute.
So I'm on the 4th book, and the reason why I said earlier, because I think off camera, that J.K. Rowling reading back the books, right? We know she's a horrible person now. She's transphobic and yuck. But she's also really fatphobic.
Fatphobic?
Yes.
Like, Dudley
all
and
the
all.
books. Whenever the people are like the bad characters, she talks about them like they're grotesquely fat. You know, like being fat in itself is like, oh look, he's mean and fat. Do you know what I mean? Like
double shit.
Yeah. Reading it back, and it's not just like a one-off.
Maybe he's mean because he's fat, JK.
Because of you.
Yeah, because yous are all. Do you know what I actually fucking love? Like, I don't love it, but I laugh thinking about it. J.K. Rowling and her. I always thought, like, wow, the things that she comes up with, like the names that she can come up with. Right?
All play on words.
Albus Dumbledore. Where the fuck? What did you do? Get the tiles from a Scrabble game and just fuck them out and go, that'll do.
No, look, remember the TV? Albus?
Alba,
the TV.
But
she found the names in graveyards.
But also, no, hold on a minute. The Irish kid, Seamus Finnegan. The Chinese girl, Cho Chang. She hardly fucking thought about that for a long time.
And the Quidditch player was Lynch.
The two Indian girls are Patels.
Yeah.
Like, fuck's sake, JK, give them a bit of thought, you know what I mean? Yeah. I just think it's hilarious.
It's funny that she's JK and her whole thing is now she is a
joke, a JK. I just think that while she is entitled to her opinion in terms of what she believes, I feel that she is actively spreading hatred.
I don't think you're entitled to your opinion when it goes against people's human rights.
That's absolutely true.
I just don't think. I think when there's a case of, like, we'll just use the example, pineapple on pizza.
Mm-hmm.
If I like
which is absolutely
pizza,
delicious, by the way.
Okay, we both like pineapple on pizza, but say you don't. That's fine, but not if your words are going to spark people that I know or love, or even people I don't know and love.
If you're giving that pizza to somebody with an allergy to pineapples, do you know what I mean?
People just need to be able to live how they want to live, and that doesn't include the people that are wanting other people not to live.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. No, it really, really does. And the thing with her is that, like, in the beginning, she wrote an article. I read it and I was like, well, I don't agree with you necessarily, but I mean, you have written this academic type article, and as well you are entitled to do, right? And that was all right. But it's the hill that she's determined to die on. And I feel actively repulsed by her
it's
whenever
the and the jokes and all.
See, whenever she misgenders people on purpose as well. And like you're looking at the most beautiful, graceful woman who has, you know, spent her life, you know, facing adversity and, you know, trying to find her way in life. And, you know, and then she becomes an actress. For J.K. Rowling to retweet her and say, this fella here is, and I'm like, that is just so fucking intolerably insulting. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be woke. I'm trying to take that from a human perspective, just as to you're using that platform with your millions of followers to spread and perpetuate hate, which is really not what we Potterheads were all about. We were all
Yeah.
the wee fucking
No.
lonely kids lying awake at 4 o'clock in the morning reading Harry Potter
Yeah.
because you needed to escape to Hogwarts from your life.
But you know what? Do you know what? As I'm reading it right now, I'm on the 4th book. So I'd with me, I'll just do a wee credit a month, and I've been doing the Harry Potter ones, along with feminist books in between that. But at the minute, and spoilers for anybody that hasn't.
If you haven't read it already, why not?
But you'll not be missing anything in the films because all this bit's not in it. But Hermione at the minute is about to really champion the elf slavery situation. And she just did a whole speech on it, and I was like, wow, how could this came out of J.K. Rowling's brain? She's not getting it.
Yeah.
It was all about the equal rights of elves and how they should have wages and all the socialist things that a working class person would want for other working class people.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't really, I'm just confused of how you can have that passion for other people and know that those are the right things, but on just...
Also, I feel like I need to say this, but because I know loads of people in my daily life who are like, she's right and all, you know, and not loads of people, but some people are, and it's people like her who are making these people braver to say, you know, to be actively bigoted. And I have to say, the women that I know who are trans are beautiful, wonderful women, and they are sensitive and they are caring and they don't even want your safe spaces. You know, she is making it out like trans people are just doing this. It's a very fucking long journey to take hormones and have surgeries just so you can use the same bathroom as women.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And also, we as women, I've never even been remotely close to being attacked by a trans person.
But a straight girl in the fucking bathroom. Yeah.
But men, actual straight,
you looking at my boy, cunt?
Yeah, you know.
Do you know what I mean? I'd be more afraid of some of the munters that are in the bathroom. Yeah. And I too have attacked.
Yes.
I'm only joking.
Same. But
yeah, allegedly. But yeah, fuck her anyway. Do you want to hear the word of the week?
Yes.
The word of the week. So, thinking of your podcast and all that it involves, I have chosen the word autophobia. Autophobia. And it is not somebody who is afraid to drive an automatic car.
I was automatically phobic of everything.
Yeah, so auto is yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Phobia is, you know, the fear of. So autophobia is typically a fear of being by yourself.
Yeah.
Which can also be used interchangeably with someone who does not like themselves or is afraid of them, you know, to be afraid of themselves.
Do you know what's the opposite of
autophilia?
Because I think I have the opposite of that.
Any philia can be a phobia usually.
All right.
And any phobia can be a philia. Philia is a natural love for it.
Right, okay. Well, I am afraid that I want to be alone.
I think that's
I'm afraid.
really
I'm afraid that I would want someone
healthy.
I'm like, first of all, whenever you're loving yourself anyway, you have to take everybody away and make sure that you're okay by yourself.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to spend time alone and spend time enjoying yourself, who you are. If you don't like yourself, you're not going to want to spend time with yourself.
Well,
you're going to want to run around, meet for coffees, do this, busy yourself, busy. But if you like yourself, you can sit in the comfort of your own home, sofa, whatever it is, for a wee hour and just chill with your own thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's important. And there's so many women that think it's, you have to get a relationship. You have to get, that's the stages, and you feel.
They'll stay in a shitty ass relationship.
Yes.
Because they don't want to be alone. Which I have too done in the past.
Yeah, we've all done that.
But, you know, it's not even necessarily, it's just the thought of, you know.
It's sad. I think a loneliness is really sad.
But whenever I remember a girl saying to me in school, I think I'd love to be you, Bronagh, because you must never get bored. And I was like, what? And she went, like, you're always sort of, because I would have done this thing if you leave me to my own devices for long enough, I will end up cackling out loud. Or
Yeah.
I was in the study hall and everybody be sitting doing their homework and I would think of something funny that had happened last week and I would just burst out laughing. She was like you're always, entertaining yourself. And I was like, seriously, my head is haunted. Girl, this isn't always good.
Yeah.
But with my alcoholism, I think that was a case of autophobia as well. And a lot of alcoholics will tell you that. Like the ability to sit with your own thoughts and have peace, get my head peace of mind, like between your ears.
Yeah.
To have quietness between your ears for a minute. Just to be able to do that is absolutely liberating.
Well, I think the abandonment and rejection issues will cause that. If you have a parent that has rejected you or abandoned you at some point in childhood, you will have the fear of being alone because you're going to constantly be wanting. So that's kind of what happened to me. When you have so much love that you want your parents to love you, you chase your whole life after your parents' approval and it's not a bad thing because most parents are nice. Yeah. You can chase after that and get that. But if you don't get it, then you're just in a constant fear of chasing and feeling lonely because you don't have what the love it is you want. But whenever you find out, right, it's great to have parents, I'm sure, and a good support network and family and all that. But when I found out that, well, actually I've kind of been freeballing it by myself anyway, then it's easier to just love yourself and be like, it's all I need, because regardless of all these people can come and go, it's still me that's going to have to pay my bills. It's still me that's to look after my daughter. It's still me. Yeah. You can have people that'll add to your life, but we've all been in situations where
somebody's giving you twice the work instead of taking half the burden.
You're in a room full of people or in a relationship and it's the loneliest you've ever felt. That's the worst. I'd rather be alone and lonely than with someone and lonely. I think that's the worst.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's that feeling of what we were talking about, was it like ignominious as well? People say that it's like an indicator of suicide. Like people who don't feel like they're part of society, or people who feel separate from that. Yeah. Like, and I know that in my darkest days, whenever I've been depressed,
ADHD, it's a really big thing.
Yeah,
for feeling
you just
alone.
feel like you're not sort of operating on the same frequency as a lot of people, and that you feel excluded. But then from the outside, everybody thinks that you're really engaged and you're really. It's a strange way to be, and that's why I do think that a lot of ADHDers use alcohol. Yeah.
Substance, it's known. And they say
abuse.
Like 95% of our jail inmates are all like on the spectrum.
Oh my God,
because they haven't been diagnosed, given their help, and then you're living in a world that's not for you, so you use
and you're living in unconventional ways as well. So yeah, fuck the Tories anyway. But you love being by yourself then, so you would be autophilic.
Yes, I can't remember when I was lonely.
Do you actually? What do you do then?
The last time I was lonely was in a relationship.
Oh, really?
I think, and that's why. Because if I'm alone, I just, like you, entertain yourself.
Yeah. Oh, here, that's whenever I let all my fucking madness out. Whenever like you walk into the house and there's no, like, actually my postman, the postman should be paid. Pay your Royal Mail postmen because they see people at their absolute fucking. I'm considering I might need to pay mine fucking protection money just so as he doesn't out. You want to see the states Barney has seen me in, like the absolute states, even from breastfeeding to getting up and answering the door with a tit out. Do you know what I mean?
I seen a girl that went feral a couple of weeks ago, and she was standing answering the door to the village.
But you know what I did here? Whenever I was feeding Kai, and I was living in Moorland at the time with my partner, and I was sitting there, literally didn't know whether or not I needed a shit or a haircut, as they usually say. And I was feeding the baby, whatever, and I went, you know what? Will we get a wee Chinese? We'll get ourselves a wee Chinese, and we'll not make any, just get a Chinese. And he was like, yeah, good, dead on. And I went, do you know what? Well, we'll be lazy bastards. Well, it's just because there was a Chinese directly across the road from where I lived. But naturally, because I was feeding and I just had surgery and stuff, I was like, we'll get it delivered. Nope, don't you leave the house because I need you here. We'll get it delivered, right? So I ordered the Chinese food and had it delivered, like paid for delivery for it to go across
Did he
the
walk
street.
across the road?
He must have walked across the road, right? And whenever I opened the door and was like, thanks, here he was. And just walked away. And I went, cheeky bastard. So I walked in and I started giving off, right? Going, fucking cheeky bastard. He still got the full fee and all he had to do was walk around and he couldn't even look me in the fucking eye when he came to the door, like he was disgusted in me. And Kurt was going, babe. And I was going, I'm fucking telling you that. And he was going, babe, no. But I was going, seriously, I'm not fucking ordering. I don't care how good their chicken balls are. That's it. And he went, baby tits out. And I just went, oh, shit.
Definitely not ordering that.
He was looking at my chicken ball.
You make good wee food.
I literally was standing there, and now that I look back on it, it wasn't like he was cheeky. He went
Yeah, he was trying to
like
avoid
that,
you.
and he was trying to not look at me while I was sitting there with a big engorged titty at the door. Dear love him.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody that. I wouldn't like everybody to know that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so the postman. So whenever I'm on my own, I'll like put on Alexa. I hope that somebody's listening to this right now so I can go, Alexa, play Gay Bar by Electric Six, right? And it'll go, getting that. You might be getting the big speech right now that's like, to sign up to Alexa Unlimited Amazon. Don't do it. But I do that, so I put that song on and then I'll like dance about the kitchen. Hey, you, I want to take her to a gay bar. And, you know, like acting like...
And just let all your
all
ADHD energy out.
All the fucking crazy out. And there have been times where I've turned around and there's just someone standing at my door with a parcel like...
Been there 10 minutes just enjoying the show.
Yeah, I'm like, you could have rang the bell. You haven't even rang the fucking bell. There was no need for you to stand there and observe me being a mental person.
You should get like a wee... Instead of paying the Royal Mail, you should have like a wee tip basket. They can tip you for the shoes.
Here's a tip, love. Stop dancing with just your knickers and your bra on. Do you know what I mean?
I don't even notice that people come. No, the worst one for me is when it's when I've been acting like a lunatic going about the house, and then I go outside the front door and the lemonades are, and I'm like, no.
They witnessed something they shouldn't.
He didn't even stick about to get the money.
He's went and just...
Leave him do this right now. He has other things going on in his life. Oh my God, yes. And you start to...
not disturb him.
You start to think like, what did they say? What have I done? You know, I think we should, it's just dance like nobody's watching, they say, but I fucking love it. Like, and I think dancing is one of those things that humans need to naturally do. Yeah. Right? Hear me out, because Sean, has the baby started dancing yet?
He dances with me, like, he loves, like, it's the way I get him through getting changed.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll bring my phone up with me and put music on while I'm changing him. Yeah. Otherwise, he kicks off. But if I have music on, I start, like, putting his wee arms and like moving his wee, like he starts laughing.
He's like,
and
this is good crack. Because like babies naturally dance. They have rhythm. Like my wee Bobby the other day, I could just be going, you know, like doing the dishes, and he'll go.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the fucking ADHD as well, but sure.
Yeah.
Runs in the family.
Yeah.
Nobody runs in our family, but we dance. We dance.
We dance.
But you know the way wee babies will just naturally move, like whenever something comes on, but then you will see a grown-ass adult in a bar going, I don't dance.
I know.
And you're going, I feel sorry for them.
But what has happened is someone has told them that they're not good at dancing or the look, whatever, because... Well, just going with ADHD, we receive 20,000 more negative comments by the age of 10 than other kids. So that's
double that for me.
That's why but ADHD it is double. That's why we have the self-esteem, the lack of self-esteem.
Is it?
Because you're too everything, too loud, too much, too this,
too fast, too slow.
When you don't think you are, you're just going about your life thinking this is perfectly normal until someone says no. In society, we don't behave like that.
And that's the thing with schools as well. They want to hammer little square pegs into round holes because they need all these kids to sit there in a class of 30 and shut the fuck up and learn their ABCs and whatever they're doing by rote. And it's just not an effective way of teaching our kids, but sure, come up with another way. We don't know. But that is like, you know, whenever people say, oh, I can't dance, and you're going, that's not, it doesn't matter. Everybody can dance. Not all of us dance well.
I don't have the confidence to dance because I definitely used to be someone that said that I can't dance. And it was whenever I said it, I was too shy to dance because, well, you're always told that you're not really, you know what I mean?
Nobody put baby in the corner.
You're worried about getting it wrong. I don't know about you, and maybe you don't care, but with me, with my social interactions, I learned with my ADHD by getting things wrong. Do you know, like doing the wrong social thing, turning up. One thing is turning up to the Galgorm. I was doing like a girls like night away thing with my friends, and I always shop in the kids section.
Right, you're tiny.
Yeah. And sometimes I like it. So, and I'd got a swimsuit in Tesco's. It was just like a swimsuit because you're going to you're not going to want a bikini when you're falling out of stuff. But no, I know that that's not what you do as an adult when you're going to the Galgorm with your girlfriends. You're supposed to get like a nice swimsuit or bikini. But I had got like a kid's rainbow one.
Did you? That is adorable. Oh no, I love you for that.
It was like a gay pride one, but it was just like all stripes and it was just plain swimsuit.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking totally fine.
Briege showed up with their wee fucking swimming hat on and the goggles. Where are we going, girls? And they're all standing there looking like they're about to go to Marbella.
And it's only whenever you turn up and people go, who wearing a child swimsuit?
Is that your flaps are hanging out?
Who cares? Like what section it was in? Like if it was, sometimes I buy boys' clothes. You buy boys' tracksuits all the time. But I said to my daughter when she would say, "Oh, is that boys or girls?" I would always say to her from she was younger. I think it was some famous person did it say track ADHD, but it's whoever owns them. So if a man owns the dress, that's a man's dress.
Yeah.
If a girl owns a boy's tracksuit, that's a girl's tracksuit. It's whoever owns
Ask any kid in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I never got girls' tracksuits.
Yeah. Like, do we have to think along this path of, is that for girls? Is that for boys?
Yeah.
Because they're learned things.
Yeah.
Gender is learned.
Yeah, but being told then that what I had worn wasn't the cool thing. I don't care about that, and a lot of my friends aren't cool and superficial like that. Tell
me this, did you buy a nice bikini for going to the Galgorm next time?
Yeah. I didn't.
Did you?
I didn't buy, but I have loads of friends that give me things.
Yeah.
So I had a load of options to pick where this person had obviously been to the Galgorm or these types of things all the time.
So you did conform in a way, but I suppose like certain social norms are, just to ease your way through it.
Some of them's not a big deal. I think as an adult now it's not a big deal. But I remember I always felt like the carpet was whipped from under me as a child because, I just thought things were normal or okay to say. And then you find out that it really isn't. Like, oh my God. I outed someone being gay that wasn't gay whenever I was younger because the communication where you get it wrong.
Yeah.
So my sister told me that my cousin was gay, but and we lived in West Herflage, and so they lived in North.
Yeah.
So I didn't see them very much. So it wasn't someone that was on my mind all the time, but there was someone with the same name that lived across the street from me, my friend's older brother. So when she said this person did you hear this person's gay now? And I was like, no, at night, bunk beds, pillow talk. And I'm like, all right, now dead on, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, 90s, excuse me, but I was like, he got a new pair of glasses too. I couldn't see that now, recently.
So
all trying to
so you thought she was talking about the person across the street?
So then the next day I went out in the street and I'm friends with the sisters. We were sisters and then the older sister and that type of thing. And I was like, and you're blah blah's gay and all. Like, I have just been fine. I was brought up not hateful. So
you didn't see what a big deal was anyway.
Totally just indifferent to it. Because of gay family members and all, it was not a thing, but it clearly was for this family.
Oh my God.
So I was like, I hear about blah blah being gay, and they were like, no he isn't. No he isn't, why are you saying that? Like, took real offence to it.
Yeah.
Because I had been like about 7, so it's been like 98 or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, my sister told
Fuck's
me
sake,
this.
a Good Friday agreement's happening. Is that not enough change for the minute?
My sister told me this, and all, like, not thinking, and it turned out it wasn't my sister. She's like, not him, our cousin.
Oh no, it isn't your brother. it's my cousin.
And then I was like,
and I'm totally
all
cool
right.
with that, by the way, so I don't know why you fucking overreacted.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
But it's wee situations like that then I think build to your self-reserve as an adult, that where you question, do I have this right? Have I got this?
You're actively gaslighting yourself
because
all the
there's
time.
been times whenever you thought things were totally normal, but the reaction is like, oh, whoa, I don't mean this.
Yeah, I think maybe that's where a load of the indecisiveness comes from in an ADHD person.
It's lack of confidence to make the decision, because your decision making is wrong, or you've been told it's been wrong.
All the time.
Yeah. That's why the self-love is so important. It's an active thing that you need to be doing on purpose. So whenever you're saying I can't or I won't, you have to tell yourself, oh, that's wrong, I will do this. And even if you don't believe it, just fake it until you make it.
That's
it
true.
Really
if you do
work.
Fake it until you make it, it works.
It's about, see, that bad habit that you have, and it is a bad habit saying bad things about yourself to yourself. It's someone else's words that you've carried with you as a child.
Yeah.
You can retrain it into a good habit where you're nice saying good things. Like my friends catch me out now and go, don't you? And I go, you know.
I have to say, I'm more probably autophilic than autophobic now myself. Because I think getting sober was the greatest act of self-love I ever did.
You have
myself.
to love yourself to
and
put
see,
that work in, don't you?
But the funny thing about that is my family members, like my sisters, would go, our Bronagh would be quicker to pull you up on something now, to slabber to you now, sober, than she was drunk.
Yeah.
And I think that's because while I was drinking, even whenever I wasn't on the drink, if I was, say, sober for the minute the next day, for example, I would say nothing about anyone. And I'm not a judgmental person anyway, but even if someone had wronged me, I wouldn't have brought it up for fear that they would
bring
up all my shit, because I knew I had my own shit and I was living in a glass house. But now that my house is subtly more made of timber frame, I'm not saying that I cast sort of judgment on anyone, but if somebody wrongs me, I will actually go, I think having the clarity of mind as well to go, do you know what? No, I'm not accepting that. That's not good enough. And have boundaries.
It is self-confidence and self-love, Bronagh.
Self-esteem. There's a big difference between self-confidence and self-esteem.
Yes.
Self-esteem is internally how you feel about yourself.
Yes.
Self-confidence is what you exude.
Okay.
But if you don't...
self-confidence fake?
Self-confidence can be fake, yeah.
All right.
If someone can be very self-confident in an atmosphere, but they have very low self-esteem.
Okay, the people tell me I'm confident and all, and I'm like,
A lot of narcissistic people have extremely low self-esteem in themselves. Like, don't think of themselves highly, which is why they need to belittle other people.
And it's actually a validation. I know one really big narcissist. But what I've found with this person is that they are the most insecure person that I know, and it's a facade that they're trying to tie you up in not in your own self, look at you and all the things, so that we don't have the time to be looking at actually what have you got going on.
So even if you actually just get a wee bit of clarity and you're like, right, this is my bubble, not my circus, not my monkeys.
But it's self-esteem, you're absolutely right. And growing that with self-love. Water the self-love to get the self-esteem, and then the self-confidence will be real. Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah, that is so true, yeah. So here, tell me this. So autophobia. Fear being, what do you do when you're at home alone? What would your ideal time alone be? What would you do?
Well, I play games on my phone.
What games?
A matching game, a merge.
I love all that.
A merge game. Because I think with the ADHD, it's
I play
taking
Tetris.
everything up. I have Tetris too.
I think Tetris is a really good way of actually explaining real life, because achievements disappear but problems pile up.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's about slotting them in real life too. Where can I fit the time to fix this problem, to do this, or the money to get this one?
It's nice. Do you know that Tetris has actually had therapeutic benefits? Some therapists have used it in order to help people with PTSD. Because you are more likely to be able to open up and do the talking therapies when your brain is doing something along those lines.
As in playing the Tetris while you're doing the thing?
It's to do with the way that the neural pathways in your brain. What have we had this conversation before, yeah?
I'm laughing because I was playing Tetris.
Were you actually just playing Tetris there now? Stop it!
Yeah.
Here, are you on the app? Because I'm going to add you so that we can keep score.
You get the wee thing. Like,
do you want to know what
number whatever in Belfast?
Can I take? Oh my God! So I'm up against you. I haven't done. Do you know my son? You know the way kids like to think that they're fucking great, And I allow my kids to think they're great because I'm not that type of cunt.
You tell them that they're great.
So I tell them all the time because kids tear each other down. So I'm always like, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're gorgeous, you're class, you're intelligent. Because they're going to go into school and somebody's just going to go, ugly, stupid bastard. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And undo all your work. Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Fuck me, soap dodger. Like, you know, even if it's not true, kids are horrible to each other. But so we're trying to like big up each other all the time. But my Tetris.
Ever heard of a wash?
Ever heard of a bar soap? Here. Do you use recycled toilet roll? Do you remember that one? But my kid downloaded the Tetris app and I was like, oh, that's nice. He's trying to connect with me. You know, he's trying to like, you know, identify with something that I'm enjoying. Mm-hmm. Oh no, the Briege, this is the best thing ever.
Oh really?
Because he was like, just play Tetris. You know, he was a wee bit like, what's your high score? And I screenshotted my high score and sent it to him. And I was like, what's yours? And he was like, never mind. Right? And he was like, fair play to him. He did go and admitted to me. He was like, I actually thought I was balling because I get up to like 10,000. I went, 10,000!
I know, and you're on like millions.
My high score is 9,989. Do you know, like up in the 9 millions, my high score. I start on level 15 now, so it just drops right away because I'm like that fucking ba. But yeah, my sister looked at it and was like, oh my God, look how fast it's going.
Does it not give you anxiety? Because whenever you were saying about the therapeutic thing, so I play my games while I watch TV, like, you know, a series or something. That's what I would do in my chill time. Every Friday night, my friends come to my house and we have a Friday club where it's where all the girls get away from their families on purpose, and you can do it in your house and all your kids be running about you and they still be tugging you and all. So
you become a real autophile whenever you have kids. You just want to be left alone, unmolested, like ungrabbed and pulled in one direction and the noise and
me and my best friend will say, do you want to run away?
Yeah.
And that's like a wee cue of, can we just get a wee hour where like I pick her up, she picks me up, and we'll just bounce into the car and be like, whoa, you know, wee time just for us. Check in, get that wee, you know, love, the self-build again, and then back out into the world to deal with our stuff.
Yeah, you can put the world to rights. See anyone when they park a car up, those windows go up, the door gets locked and the engine goes off. We could fucking solve world hunger. Those are some of the best conversations you ever have. Do you not think? Yeah. You know, and it's especially like, have you ever went to drop somebody off and then you've sat outside their door for like 4 hours?
Yes.
Because it's like, and another thing. And then they end up getting back into the car and going, here, no, did I not tell you?
I've had to learn to stop that because see, we're like, you know, playing gigs. Yeah. And I go to drop one of him and home.
I mean, you're not getting home for ages.
You're outside the door for ages. And then Nicole's like, what took you? Like I'm like, oh, geez, like, see, packing up. Like, somebody dropped the glass and all of her stuff. And it was everywhere, you know. Took us about an hour to get out of that bar.
Is Nicole more like that? Not, because I became very, very like that once I had I was like, why the fuck were you so long?
No, now I'm home in a shot. Like, I've been down to an art, you know, like, getting out of the it's because I want to be home. Because I'm like, I need, not even that, I need to fucking sleep. So I'm like, I need to get home ASAP as well.
So that I can close my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so much shit to do.
As soon as I drop people off now, I'm like, get out of the fucking car.
Yeah. Don't even talk to me. Zip, zip, fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you, bye-bye.
Like, I had the best conversation with a comedian. He was so fucking funny. You call him Thomas Green. If you're in England at the minute and you're watching this, go and see his show because he is proper jokes. Cackled at him in the Empire. I was on that night. He was on. And I went to give him a lift around to his hotel and ended up just sitting talking to him for hours because he's ADHD as fuck as well. And the vibe, the frequencies were out there. And we're both with, like, his partner is London Cockney. So I was laughing going, whenever you do her accent, it sounds like me doing his accent. Yeah. So it was just bouncing off one another, do you know what I mean? And having the absolute crack and then going, it's like 2:00 in the morning, you need to go in and into the hotel. Do you know what I mean? And then I was like, thank fuck I'm a trusted like spouse, because can you imagine? Like, I have a wee air tag on my keys as well. I was going, see if Curtis was to look up where my air tag is, like wondering where I am, he would see me parked outside a hotel.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever get into a relationship ever again just with you saying that.
Really? No, he's not like that.
No,
anyway.
I know.
You know, I know what you mean. But to worry about shit like that.
But still to have the thought process that we could possibly be doing something wrong just because we're away for periods of time with the male. Yeah. Another male. Yeah. And it's because males are shit. I don't know about you, but I haven't been very successful in having male friends.
Right.
Right. I've had some people pretend that they wanted to be my friend and then they didn't. Do you know, they want to go with you or
really?
Not go with you.
I don't know. I do have some of my best friends are male.
Yeah.
You know, isn't that right, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think
crew.
Especially as you get older, platonic relationships can build, you know, and
you would think.
Yeah, you would, but that's it again.
Like a friend that I haven't, that you can, come on, we go for a call. Like I haven't, like they're gay. Mm-hmm. Any men friends that I have are definitely gay.
Are gay, because then you know that they're not like, there's not going to be an unrequited thing going on there. Yeah.
Maybe it's me. It's not that I repel it, because I'll always be like, oh, like I need to have male friends so that you can bounce your male questions off them. Yeah, yeah. I just never really found it.
Is that what we're calling this now? A male question?
A male question?
So you can bounce your male questions off. Is that what these are called?
My little innocent brain.
I know, you're so innocent, Briege. I know, we're used to being dirty bastards on this podcast, and Briege just like, what is that? My male questions? What is it? Yeah. Do you want to know? We do a swear down every week, right?
Yeah.
So toward the end of the episode, we will give you a word where basically how to curse without saying bad words.
Okay.
And the beautiful Sean has done this week's swear down. It is blatherskite.
I love that, blatherskite on your mouth.
That sounds like a bad word. Like,
but I do kind of want to say blatherskite.
Blatherskite. Is that somebody who just talks nonsense all the time?
It is. That's nail on the head.
Is it?
A person who talks nonsense at length.
Blathering on all that skate. A person who talks nonsense
at length.
At length. He's a blather. Here, are you serious? Like, come on. He's trying to tell me something here, Bronagh. You have to fucking sit through these every week. Blatherskite. I love that.
I love that.
Do you know, everybody knows a blatherskite. Do you know those people who couldn't lie straight in bed? Like, they just genuinely don't know how to tell the truth.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you know, like the Jay from the In-Betweeners? Yes. Who's like, just fingered this bird and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Like, we had a mate like that growing up, you know, and he couldn't help himself. Like, you would go, what you have for your dinner? And instead of just saying stew, he would go like, sirloin steak, fucking, you know, like the wee crunchy onions and all, peppered sauce, blah, blah, blah.
I have a brother like that.
Shut up. Sean. Oh, Paddy, it's on. Guess who's going to be fighting in the next boxing match? Sean. Oh my God, I would actually love to see that. Sean v. Paddy. Can you imagine?
I'd get my cunt knocked in.
But I'm sure you have done that when you were growing up, no?
Oh.
So there's already been matches like that, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you were a baby.
But I was a baby, but there were still matches.
There was a big gap between... I was going to say something dirtier, and I'm not going to, because we Mrs. fucking McDonald would kill me.
Thanks for listening.
No. But
great.
I was going to say there was a big gap between his ma's legs, but no, a big gap between when the eldest was born and when Sean came along. So Sean has the luxury of having he's kind of like an only child, but he's not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like extra parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had extra parents. Do you know what I mean? You know the way Irish families do it as well. Yeah. Like, woe betide.
Where your sister has a baby and it's
girl.
you and you pretend you don't know until you're
yeah, that happens all the time. Do you know, I was
Catholic shame.
I was talking to somebody about this. It was actually maybe one of my English friends, and I was like, that isn't actually out of the ordinary. That's not something that, and what I'm talking about here is when there's an instance where there's a big family. I am your mother.
Yes, like, I am. You're not my mother. I was so in.
You know, yes, I am.
You're not my mother. And then she goes, yes, I am. And I was like, finally waiting on that for like 3 years.
I know. And like, that was a big storyline in EastEnders. But I'd say in every street in Belfast, there's at least one of them.
About the reality of that.
Wow.
Like, where
the sister's the Mav, the younger sister. But
it was actually a woman came to
sister, but you're actually the Mav.
One of my creative writing classes, and she was telling me, she was like, I never realised until maybe 10 years ago that the woman that I always called sister is actually my mother. Yeah. You know, and I've heard that firsthand from a few people.
Yeah, my cousin just found something out recently about a year very similar to that. They're
all of the shame.
Their aunt wasn't the mummy's, it was she's actually a cousin.
Oh, was taken on. And there's always that, you know, like you're not actually, you know, maybe blood related or whatever.
Well, I don't have it in my family. Like my nieces and nephews are very close in age to me. They're closer in age to me, most of them, than my brother and sisters.
Yeah, so they were like your brothers and sisters as well.
Yeah.
So like growing up, they were like my wee siblings. You know what I mean? I basically had them. It's just like I would play with them, you know, rather than like.
I know what you mean, because my brothers. So my daddy, is remarried, and my twin brothers, Caleb and Oisin, they're actually older. No, I tell a lie. So basically the way that it works is my sister had her first baby, and then Caleb and Oisin were born. So they are my nephew's uncles. While they are his uncles too, they're younger than him. So they were all more like cousins than uncles. Kurt was born on the exact same day as his uncle. And I'm not talking about like day, year, week, everything.
They were both born then?
So his mum was pregnant at the same time that his grandmother was pregnant, and they both went into labour on the same day.
That's like have you ever watched the movie Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell?
Yes! No.
And
that's a brilliant movie, actually.
And like the dad has like a baby at the same time as like Will Ferrell does. Yeah. And so like the kids grow up together.
Yeah.
But live completely different lives.
Oh, here, speaking of Will Ferrell, I watched, if you haven't, do watch it, because it's beautiful and uplifting and also funny. I watched the documentary recently that he did with his friend, who he worked with her for years and years and years when she was called a male name and when she was a man. And then over COVID, she transitioned and came out. And he didn't know how to navigate this. He was like, so what, are we still friends? Or like, is our friendship still the same now that that's a dead name and whatever? So he goes on a road trip with his friend, and it is lovely. Oh. It is so nice. Because the friend, do you know what? I'm going to find, I'll find the name of it. It's called,
like navigating that word.
It's called Will and what did she call?
I watched that. I can't remember
the name. Because she used to hitchhike and go journeying and travel across America all the time.
Will and Harper.
Will and Harper, that was it. So Harper used to, love to like, you know, just drive around and camp and go to all these biker bars and things like that. And didn't know how to navigate that as a woman. Now that would be terrifying for any woman, but a trans woman even more so, because you're obviously vulnerable. And there's some beautiful wee moments in it as well. Like it's funny and it's it's gag. Like it was like, does she still drink beer? Does she still drink shitty beer? You know? Yeah. And it was just really nice debunking the shit.
It's also nice because as much as, well, I'd say transphobic people, it is a fear of the unknown, like racism and anything else. I find it's people that are afraid of what they don't know.
Yeah, and that's it as well, because you have to, if you are friends with someone and they are trans, you know, the way that Harper put it was lovely, because Will was like, I'm just really afraid of saying the wrong thing and offending you or hurting your feelings. To which she responded, you are my friend. There are no-go areas for you. You can ask me whatever you want. And that put him at ease in a way where it was so beautiful that she did that too.
Yeah. But I don't understand, well, I suppose I do, but I don't understand why people are afraid in that sense, because I've experienced it with straight white men interacting with gay or drag artists, knowing that they don't know the language or are in that life, so we're afraid of saying things that will offend. But the way I kind of see it is, well, if you say something that's maybe not right or the person will correct you. It's up to you how you receive it. Are you open to educating yourself? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so what if you offend someone? We can all do that anyway without knowing. But when someone says, oh, here, that was offensive and this is why, it's then your reaction to say, oh, I hear you, I got you, I'm going to look at that moving forward. But it's when people can't be educated and don't want to change their words and do all that, that's when they're afraid, because they actually don't want to educate. It's very easy. If someone was to come into this room now and say, I identify as a tomato, I would be like, great. Does it affect my life? Does it have any effect on me whatsoever? No. So there's no reason for anybody
I'd be like,
to
take
have
a Redner for yourself.
I already am.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You eat fruit.
Because it's squeezing. Yeah.
Sorry.
You know what I mean? Like, but
that was real low hanging fruit.
That was real low hanging fruit. Very good. I see what you did there.
But there would be no need for me to say you are not, and chase them around their life to make sure that they don't identify as a tomato. It would make no sense.
You'll be fine. As damn it. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm really fucking loving this. God.
Yeah, so
if they came in and said that to me, I'd go, look, you're still my friend. Tomato. Like, doesn't matter to me.
Let's catch up sometime. Do you know what I mean?
that's so funny.
We're a bunch of bastards, aren't
I know,
we?
I have no puns whatsoever.
Yeah, you'd just be like, awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. That is great. That's great, kid.
I'm the supportive friend.
Yeah. You come in and say they're tomato, you go, are you on the bottle? If you want to join us next on our Patreon, please continue to watch to the end and you will see the little link come up for the Patreon. Please consider subscribing. It's only £3 a month and you'll get loads and loads of extra content. Maybe too much extra content. Plus, we also give access to early tickets for gigs, and for at the Patreon at the minute, we have released the live link. If you want to get in there first and buy your tickets for the Ulster Hall, the Stars in Our Eyes. We're doing that again this Christmas for the Children's Cancer Fund. Myself, Shane Todd, Paddy, Kieran, I think lots of other comedians. Basically every comedian that's on the Belfast scene at the minute is doing it. So if you want to get your tickets early, they are available on my Patreon. So please do that. Sign up, get us a few quid, keep the lights on. And thank you very much to Briege.
Thanks for
having the crack with us today.
Was really good fun.
Absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
Tell your wee granny was asking about her.